Fogarty, oh my goodness, with Dash Camp. He's been the one out there with the footballs, the hula hoops, and that parachute that you're inflating.
Oh, right. If you see somebody, know somebody, love somebody who has diabetes, can we get a hip hip hooray on 3? 1, 2, 3. Hip hip hooray! All right, I'm gonna take these silly glasses off. Here's my warrior pose that I didn't do earlier. So, yes, people who have diabetes can do yoga too. So I've had diabetes for 18 years, and I just wanted to do a couple thank yous beforehand. Thanks to the JDRF, thanks to all our sponsors, thanks to you all for being out here. This is the reason why we do our jobs, to support you. So I don't know if you know it, but you're the reason why we do our jobs. So I'm just going to go over my diagnosis story, kind of how sports has helped me through life, and what Dash Camp is all about. So I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 7 years old, 2 weeks before Halloween. And the first thing I remember the doctor saying was, "You can't ever have candy for the rest of your life." So I thought that was the worst disease any person could ever have. But don't worry, you know, a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions. Like today's Wednesday, it's good. Diabetes is not contagious on Wednesday. It's only Tuesdays and Thursdays. So everybody, you know, it's okay. That's a joke, by the way, to all you kids out there. Diabetes is not contagious. And so then also in my second grade class, my teacher made the announcement that, okay, Lucas has diabetes, so that means that we will not eat candy in support of him, because he got diabetes because he has candy. We all know that that's not true. You know, we get a lot of negative stereotypes having type 1, and my parents were smart enough. There's my dad over there, my mom's over there at the booth. My parents were smart enough to get a diabetes advocate in to kind of talk about how type 1 is an autoimmune disease, type 2 is genetic and environmental, and you know, all the other things that goes with type 2. And so kind of early on I learned that in order to play sports, I had to manage my blood sugars. So sports was my motivation to get my diabetes under control. Because if I was too high or too low, you know, you can't function as athletically as you can when you're, you know, in range. And so sports has kind of been the theme of my life. And I played in high school and in college. I played 2 years professionally in Europe, in Belgium, although it's kind of obscure. You know, they still play professional sports in Belgium. I played football and baseball for the Brussels Bulls and Brussels Kangaroos. And I like to say I was the first ever person who has diabetes to throw a perfect game. I don't know if that's true, but I'm claiming it. Thank you, thank you. And so, you know, playing sports is not easy, especially when you have diabetes. Just to give you kind of like a real life story, you know, I'm a human being. I'm not perfect, and I don't manage my diabetes perfectly, but we try. But so I was a sophomore, and I was trying to make the varsity football team, and it was a summer game, and it was a 2-minute drill, and I was the quarterback, and I wanted to win the game. So normally English is my worst language. I don't know why. But when I was telling the play in the huddle, I said blue cross red 88, and all my teammates looked at me like I was speaking Tagalog. You know, they're like, "Lucas, what did you just say?" And at that moment I was like, okay, I think I'm pretty low here, guys. But sports got the better of me. I tried to play through it, and I ended up throwing an interception and having a mini seizure after the game. And I was lucky that a paramedic who was a father of a friend was there. And kind of that luck has inspired me to create a camp where we create the luck. And how do we create luck? Well, we create it by having kids who have diabetes and their friends at the same camp. Because without a friend, without a support group, I got a bunch of my buddies over there, Delancey and Phil, they're playing with the kids. Woo! And there's a bunch of Fabian, and there's so much support I got. And without them, you know, I wouldn't be up here today. And it's hard to talk about diabetes. You know, everybody knows it's hard. This is an evolution that I've gotten used to about talking about my own diabetes and other people's diabetes. So, you know, don't worry if you don't feel comfortable talking about it now. But DASH stands for Diabetes and Sports Health. It was originally called Sports and Diabetes Camp, and luckily my family makes fun of each other and said, Lucas, nobody wants to go to SAD camp. So we changed the name to DASH, and you know, we had our last camp in September, and we had kids who have diabetes, their friends, their siblings, and then also their parents. Because diabetes is an individual disease, but it affects everybody in the family. Siblings, mom and dad, the relationship between mom and dad, the relationship between the kid who has diabetes and the other kid. You know, this is a family chronic disease, and we try to address that by having everybody come out to our camps. And Fabiana's fantastic with the parents, leading panel discussions and kind of creating a support group atmosphere without calling it a support group. It's your organic group to vent about diabetes. And we also have, you know, the kids are playing sports the whole time, like 14 hours of sports in 2 days. And the lowest kid was me. So, you know, I think that was pretty good. And then we got turned in our 501c3 status to become a nonprofit. And we've applied for a couple grants. We've got them all. And our next camps are in March and then July of 2013, March 24th, and then early July. They'll both be in Oakland. And kind of the whole philosophy around DASH is to have the kids believe and really feel that even though they have diabetes, they can still do anything that they want, that they can dream of. And that's our goal here, and thanks so much for coming out.
Yeah. Gangnam Style.